Thokozani sanibonani chamako. Siyabonga African kids here from Umsamo Institute. And on this Friday sithi cha. Namhlanje akufani ngoba inkosi yethu ikhotheme ugoodwill zolithini kabheka uzulu. Sithi phumula bhubesi, lala ngoxolo, usebenzile. Phumula bhubesi. Siyabonga umsebenzi wakho wenzele uyidlalile indima yakho. Siyabonga. Namhlanje I would just like to take the time to talk about a particular case that I'm dealing with at the moment, with regards to ancestral rights between umama no baba if ingane is born out of wedlock, right? There's a big confusion at the moment as to what those rights are. Umuntu wesilisa athi no mina ngubaba wengane, therefore isibongo nesintu sakithi must be done. Umuntu wesifazane athi cha no kodwa asishadile and therefore this must not be done. So for those of you that are having custody battles of sorts, differences of opinion between yourself and baby daddy or baby mama, this video is for you. What you should be aware of when it comes to the cultural and ancestral rights of a child. Ubani ongafaki ongayemsamo aphahle ahlabe imbuzi afake isiphandle on imntwana. Let me explain. When a child is conceived out of wedlock, the ancestral and cultural rights sit with the mother's side of the family, right? When a child is born out of wedlock, okay, the only people who have the right ukuthi bayemsamo, baphahle, bahlabe imbuzi, slaughter an animal for this child, bamthele ngenyongo or whatever the case may be, and practice and execute isintu sakubo on a particular child is the mother's side of the family. Okay? What is mandatory and compulsory is inhlawulo. Inhlawulo, guys, damages is a terrible word for inhlawulo. Let me explain the intention behind inhlawulo. Inhlawulo says to the parent, to the child, and to the ancestors, ukuthi thina bakamkhize, because inhlawulo doesn't come from usiyabonga, guys. Inhlawulo comes from abakamkhize, right? And it will say ukuthi thina bakamkhize, we are accepting responsibility for this child. We are going to be accountable for this child, and we are going to do all that is necessary for this child and play an active role. That is the first purpose of inhlawulo. The second purpose of inhlawulo, guys, is to begin the communication and the relationship between mother family and the father's family. Because whether the man and the woman get married, regardless of whether they get married, both families need to have a relationship for the sake of the child. So khohlwane lento ukuthi damages is because a woman has been damaged or you have ruined her in some way, shape or form. No, it is about beginning a relationship and accepting accountability and responsibility. So inhlawulo is compulsory. No conversation about changing surnames can take place until inhlawulo has been paid. What is not compulsory, okay, or mandatory is changing of surnames. When as umuntu wesilisa ukhipha inhlawulo, after ukhipha inhlawulo, you go back emsamo nithi sesiyobuyela khona ke kwasibanibani siyolobola ingane. Right? This is the assumption that you guys aren't actually going to get married. Then the family can either accept or reject your proposal for ilobol, because ilobol is a form of proposal, which as in we would like this particular member of your family to become a member of our family, right? And yikonje, you cannot change surnames without ngaphandle kokukhishwa kuqala in that surname that you currently are in. So in order for you to leave your mother's surname and fully take your father's surname, your mother's family must be the one to bayemsamo baphahle bathi no, usiyabonga is now leaving this family and is going to be joining abakadlamini, for example. Yabo? And it is that blessing, right, that ensures you are able to enter the other family. So you cannot just say no, ma or gogo, you don't want me to join Baba's family. Mina, I'm ngengengane, right? You go by fire by force. I'm taking my father's surname. And then by Wenzel or whatever the case may be, you're going to ruin things for yourself, Msam. All right. So as a man, it is compulsory to pay inhlawulo, but ukushintsha isibongo is completely and entirely up to the mother's side of the family. And should your proposal be rejected, right, to discontinue or to stop loving the child the same way and stop fulfilling your responsibilities because now the child can no longer carry your surname is an insult to inhlawulo that you paid in the first place. You need to respect inhlawulo is paid first. Because if you don't respect le inhlawulo, izinto zizojika for umntwana. Another thing, guys, right? When it comes to the responsibilities and when it comes to the cultural rights, I hope you now see, in order for those rights to shift, and by shift I mean for you as a man to have equal say when it comes to isinto nesiko that is executed upon your child, the surname needs to be yours. Inhlawulo is not enough. Just because we keep it inhlawulo, remember, that is mandatory. You still, ungai keep inhlawulo, and the family can say, no thanks, but no thanks. We want the child to remain with our surname and in our family, right? But you can still play an active role, be a present father, and then when lobola negotiations take part, you can also participate in that. You can also participate in that. If provided you have honored inhlawulo, respect inhlawulo, guys, and honor the intention behind inhlawulo. A lot of children are struggling today because their fathers did not understand the spiritual implications of inhlawulo. Right? And because they didn't understand the spiritual implications of inhlawulo, they are the ones that are going to be suffering the consequences of that. It's easy to be a deadbeat if you don't understand inhlawulo, guys. Respect and honor the intentions behind inhlawulo and make sure that you pay it. Right? Then, when it comes to the rights of umntana, when it comes to ilobolo match, that is going to be dependent on whether or not or how present you've been as a father. You cannot go and claim the rights to umntana and amalobolo if A, you've been a deadbeat, B, the child does not have isibongo sakho, C, awuzange ukhiphe inhlawulo. You have no cultural and ancestral right. And in conclusion, guys, whatever protocol you decide to follow, because nemis have got different protocol, like they cut that finger off, or whatever the case may be, right? When a child is conceived out of wedlock, everything and anything spiritual will only succeed for that child, provided that there is peace between mother and father, between mother's family and father's family. Bad blood, right, between the two, okay, whether between the parents or between the families, right, compromises the spiritual foundation of the child. Without the spiritual foundation of peace between mother's family and father's family, right? Angikhathali ukuthi ungathini ningahlaba imbuzi ezu-100, go to 1,000,001 healers, nigeze 1,000 times, nidle amagobonga a1,000,000, leyo ngane is going to struggle. And the children that you have, man and woman, outside of that, outside of this child, with other people that you've now decided to settle down with, they too will suffer the consequences of the first child which you have done wrong by, because the first child is your first blessing, and blessings must give birth to other blessings. So if you are struggling with this, guys, and there is a massive, whether it's a custody battle, whether it's a cultural battle, whether it's a fighting battle, and you would like an African spiritual and cultural contribution from someone who is young and also understands the struggle of being young and black and a parent, but who's also a parent as well, right? Then let us set up an appointment and let us talk online about the way forward. Please email bookings@umsamo.org.za and let us try resolve this family issue, and especially for there to be clarity when it comes to the ancestral rights and where do they sit. Thank you very much and have a lovely Friday afternoon.